Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley unboxing slash showcase. Of course, I love doing Auto World showcases, and I'm really excited about this showcase because this is a return to Auto World's roots, so to speak. We'll talk about that in a second. This video is coming in 3 parts. We'll do the unboxing portion, then we're going to open the models, and then I've got a car show at the end. So you can just watch the portion you want. If you just want to see what's in these cases of this new mix, we'll do that. You want to see them loose? You'll do that. You want to see them as part of a car show? We'll do that. So stay tuned for all of that. Let's go ahead and get to it. What I've got here are actually additions to the mix that we're going to get into. These are the 3 Auto World store exclusives. You can see right here, Auto World store exclusive. Auto World has been doing more of this, kind of like, think of it as maybe more like, I guess you could compare it to kind of RLC. So they'll do special versions of these castings. Usually when they launch a new casting, you'll see it in a retail mix, and then you'll see an Auto World store exclusive pop up about the same time. So it's worth paying attention to the Auto World Instagram account or, you know, just the store itself, because these will pop up, and I think they're available now, and there's a link definitely in the description. We will get to these. All 3 are new castings, and they definitely relate to the cars that we're going to be featuring. So let's put these over here, and let's get right to it. What you're looking at is mix, well, let's switch them, A and B, sent to me by Auto World. These will hit retail stores and hobby stores very, very soon. Chad over at Auto World has showcased these in their videos as well, but we'll give this a whole showcase today. They don't open them, we will. That's what they want us to do, and of course we will. Mix A, Mix B, kind of hidden in those codes. Let's just get right to it. Obviously, if you're not familiar, there's 6 models in each one of these mixes. They're released at the same time. They're released in stores. Sometimes you'll see both releases. Sometimes you'll see only one. But they're the same castings done in different colors. All right, let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. I already cut this open because I wanted to make sure what it is, and I cut it from the bottom, as you can tell. Who cares? All right, let's get right to it. Let's just see what we've got. Tissue paper. Get rid of that. They've been placed differently. I think we got, yeah, back side, front side. We'll have to figure that out. We'll get it all figured out. We'll get to the new castings, but let's start with version A. Well, we'll just get to it, and then where's that band? There it is, right. If we can get it out, there we can. Okay. All right, like I said, released in mixes of 2. 1987 Plymouth Voyager Premium Series Release 2, version A. I assume this is of 2025, even though we are moving into fall. We've seen this casting as a Chrysler and as a Plymouth and as a Dodge. I don't know if this is the first time we're seeing it as a Plymouth. There's the back side if you want it. Ice blue, twilight blue. Very much Mighty Minivan is the theme here. I don't know if they've done that too. I don't know. Always in 1/64 scale, everything else. This is a niche casting for sure, but there are some people who are huge fans, and this is what I love about Auto World, is this kind of stuff that they do. But there's something I love even more. We'll get to it in a little bit. But this is Release 2 version A. In ice blue, twilight blue, first release of the 1987 Plymouth Voyager casting. So whatever changes they had to make to this, and they're calling it a new casting. So they've probably made some changes to the interior, maybe to the exterior, to badge it as a Plymouth Voyager in '87. What those changes are, I probably won't know, and I probably won't be able to figure out now. But this is the same one. This is version B in light cream, golden bronze. Is that what it says? I think that's what it says. 307,000 units of their minivans in 1987. This was I just remember, this was the first minivan, that is for sure. At least this silhouette. So there you go. We will open these up in a little bit. I'm trying to stay close to the unboxing style. Here's the next one. I mean, that was a new casting, technically. Where is that? I think, yeah, right here. There we go. Okay. Modern muscle. I have loved Auto World's foray into Japanese cars because I think they're doing it in a proper way. They're kind of staying within their era, and they're staying within their style. And, you know, with the Supra, the Celica Supra, they're not doing anything particularly current like they do the Camaros and the Corvettes and the Mustangs. They're staying kind of in the 80s and 90s, and they're doing very much, for the most part, American, what you would see on the American roads next to, say, the minivan or these other cars. Like, they go by era, and I think they're staying true to their roots. That being said, okay, well, I'll talk about it in a second. But here it is, Premium Release 2 version A. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to stay focused on the unboxing. This one is in bright white, clearly bright white. You know that I'm going to love this model, this version. This is, I don't know how, they've done the Eagle Talon on it. This is the Eagle Talon TSI. They've done it also as a Mitsubishi. You know, Dodge and Mitsubishi shared this. They did 3000 GT and the Dodge Stealth, all that kind of stuff. And Autoworld has been replicating that, which I think is fantastic. And this one, white with white rims. I'll have to get out the Dodge Stealth for when we open this up and do the showcase. That's the first version. Second version of the 1991 Eagle Talon TSI is in medium quartz metallic. This one has the custom wheels on it too. I like the more factory wheels on this, but this is a nice looking version of the Eagle Talon. It'll have the tail lights will be different, and there'll be some other cosmetic changes to this, but it is essentially the Mitsubishi Eclipse first generation, and we've seen it in both. And this one, you know, really nice choice, I think, for Autoworld to do that casting. And kind of fits with what they are doing. All right, let's keep on going. Where are we? We have new castings, and you know what? We have this lowrider. Let's get to this, because they dropped kind of a surprise lowrider on us in this mix as well. Vintage muscle. This is the 1961 Dodge Dart Phoenix lowrider, so nothing factory about this. Version A in Mango Smoothie. I wonder if that is a term that they came up with. 61 Dart was designed by Virgil Exner in the style of Chrysler's forward look that emphasized longer, lower cars with bold, bright work. 1961 Dodge Dart was built on a unibody construction. Nothing about this being a lowrider, but they've been taking some of their classic castings and doing lowriders, and basically it means they're putting smaller wheels on it. I don't think they're lowering the chassis, but the details on these are fabulous. We saw this with the Lincoln Continental, and here we have the Dodge Dart Phoenix going with a lowrider look, which looks fabulous. We'll obviously give that some attention once we open it up. That's the first version. The second version is in Purple Sky. And yeah, let's just focus on those once we open them up. All right, 3 new castings, and they definitely fall within those Autoworld exclusive, those store exclusive models that we talked about. So let's do, all right, yeah, Dodge Coronet. Where are you? I don't know. Let's see. I'm doing it based on headlights, so I think this is it. Yes. 1968 Dodge Coronet. Starting to rain. Let's just keep going. We're going to open them, so let's just keep going. Medium green poly. This is a completely built from scratch new casting. No new details because this is a brand new casting. This is the first mass market release of our all new 1968 Dodge Coronet RT casting. First 1968 Dodge Coronet RT ever available 164. That's cool. And we'll get into the details of this when we open this up, but this is a casting that I am, you know, this is what I'm talking about when I say Autoworld is returning to its roots. Do the classic American cars and do a lot of big ones. I love the foray into Japanese cars. Obviously, the square body / Silverado became such a phenomenon and really became the thing that everyone wanted, and that's totally cool. And they should continue to do that. But while they're doing that, keep putting this stuff out. This is why I went to Autoworld in the first place, with the big Cadillacs and the big wagons. I didn't think that any other brand was doing it the way Autoworld was doing it, and I kind of considered them like the classic American car version of Tomica Limited Vintage, and that's what brought me there in the first place. I don't know if I would have gone to Autoworld based on the last 2 or 3 years, but I did based on these cars, and this feels like a real return to what attracted me to the brand in the first place. So that's the first version, version A. Version B of the Dodge Coronet 1968 Dodge Coronet RT in medium gold poly. I just love how they give these factory looks. The colors seem like they literally put the paintbrush or the spray can, whatever, just right out of the factory. Like they just found one dusty old paint can in the back of the factory, pulled out the paint and put it on here. I really do love the way they add the details to these classic American cars, and I'm so excited to open that up. That's the first of the big castings. Second one, this one is a new casting as well, built from scratch, but they have done this car in the past, or at least a version of this car. This is the 1965 Chevy Impala SS 396. I can pull up maybe an old one to compare it, but new casting, let's see what they say. This is the first mass market release of our all-new 65 Chevy Impala casting. For the last time, 1965 saw the return of the triple round taillights, feature the Impala since 1958. They were redesigned for 1966. So yeah, there's your round taillights on that. That is phenomenal. That'll be very cool to open up, and maybe we'll compare it to the other Impala castings that they've done. Love the license on that too. This one is in Danube Blue. And you got that light blue interior. You've got that dark blue color on the okay, I just can't wait to open it up. And then here is the second one, Willow Green Poly. This is released to version B. And yeah, Willow Green Poly. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that one of the best-selling cars of 1965 and set an all-time U.S. sales record for a single model year with over 1 million units sold. Impalas are awesome. You're going to see this as a lowrider, of course, although that is a different generation than the standard Impala lowrider. All right, last one of the big stuff, and maybe my favorite of the ones released. This is just, oh, this makes me smile. If I could turn the camera around, you would see a genuine Lamley Auto World smile for this one. This is the and all three of these really do create that 1970 Plymouth Sport Fury GT. This thing is so cool. I love the wheels. Look at how cool the wheels are on this. This is the first mass market release of our all new. When they say mass market, obviously they're saying retail, and I think they're comparing that to the Auto World store versions that we'll get to in a second. Top engine, the top engine option for the 1970 Sport Fury GT was the same as 440cc V8, making 375 horsepower. Burnt orange poly, vinyl top, matching interior, which was so true to these cars from that era. Wheels are phenomenal. We'll get some close-ups of that. That's the first version. Here's the second. Look at that color. Jamaica blue poly. We've also tooled multiple parts to replicate various trim levels of the Fury from 1970-71. Obviously, we're going to see this a lot. These wheels are so cool. So cool. All right. That's version B of the Plymouth Fury GT. All right, so we've got these new castings here, right? You've got the Impala. Here, in fact, we can do this. We'll just take one of each. I'll move these over here. 3 new castings, and then we have the Auto World store exclusive. So if we look at the Dodge Coronet RT, look at what they did here. And you just saw them already, but a Dick Landy Dodge Coronet RT. Dick Landy Dodge. Dick Landy, if you're familiar, Dick Landy, if you're a racing fan, you know who Dick Landy is. If you're a Hot Wheels vintage racing fan, you know that there are Dick Landy cars that have been released over the years. And I know it's almost blasphemous to start as a Hot Wheels, but for 2 reasons. This is an Auto World showcase, and Dick Landy was a race car driver, and the real car is far more important than the replica. But here it is, and this is how we enter through the door. First all release of the 1968 Dodge Coronet RT casting. Dick Landy was inducted into the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame in 1998. So here's a replica. I almost have to look up and see if this is, if this Coronet was, obviously I don't think it was raced into drag racing, but let's see. Dick Landy made his mark in 1960s, 70s as a pioneering driver and tuner for Dodge. Famous for his wild wheel-standing launches and trademark cigar, Landy revolutionized factory-backed racing. Beyond racing, Landy was instrumental in developing Chrysler's Superstock and Pro Stock programs. In an all-new casting, Auto World introduces the new 1968 Dodge Coronet RT as a tribute to Dick Landy's famous Coronet 440 Superstocker, driven by his brother Mike Landy at the 1968 Winter Nationals. So this is a tribute car. Not a lot made, by the way. You should go and grab it. And in that very signature Dick Landy blue and silver and red deco. We'll open that up. So that's, I keep talking, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll focus on that one. Let's focus on let's go to the, oh, you know what? I had both the Coronets. Let's, Impala. There we go. This is the Impala Auto World exclusive, store exclusive, Evening Orchid paint. That's the color here. You get this chrome trim on the packaging as well, but that's going to go into it's got a future somewhere other than my collection because we're going to open this up. Was a 1-year only paint color optional across all 1965 GM models. It was marketed as Iris Mist for the Pontiac line. So that's what makes this one special is the color. The Evening Orchid Poly. We'll open that one up in a second. I just want to. You can freeze this. Yeah, so this is talking about customers could also opt for the evening orchid paint to add a level of distinction to their mighty chariot. Good wording. So that one, it's the color of this one that makes this one special as an Auto World exclusive. And then the last one of the Auto World exclusives, the Plymouth Sport Fury GT in black velvet. I really like that chrome element there in the packaging. Boy, there's some details here that we'll get to that when we go into the close-up camera. Rarest of the 1970 Sport Fury GTs was the 440 plus 6, where only 64 were made, so that's what makes this one special. There are no clear records of exactly how many survivors exist today. Well, we get the replica. Oh, and this is, I'm trying to see if the stripe, I guess the stripe is the same here, but we'll get into that. Wheels are so cool on this one. It's the same as this one, but it doesn't have the vinyl top that the other ones have. Sport Fury, that's following. This is more about the car. Of those, only 64 were fitted with the 440 plus 6 engine. With the attention this barge deserves, Auto World has replicated this highway floater. I'm loving the writing here for the first time in true 1/64 scale. All right, there's your unboxing. If you want to go. I think you'll want to stick around, though, to see these get opened up. And then I've got a little car show with some of the true origins of Auto World here in a little bit. But you guys tell me what you think. Let's get on to opening these up. We'll just start with versions A and B of the 1987 Chrysler or Plymouth Voyager. Sometimes they share the same name, like Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge. Sometimes they don't. All right, I always tend to make a big pile of cards and plastic over there. Let's take a look at the van. We'll open up the engine on the version B for the turntable. Yeah, these vans, this is probably an explanation that I love that they do them. They aren't going to be, if you can get into some little details, like there's an actual manual version of this van that I think if you look at, they've done, there's some little subtle details for the serious collector. Here's the second version B in cream golden bronze. But I think one of the reasons, so the mixes are small, 6 cars each, 2 colors each from retail. And then of course there's hobby and things like that. And hobby sometimes, if you're a hobby dealer, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll just talk about it. You're a hobby dealer. You're going to say, like, let's put an Advan livery on it. Let's do a Silverado. We got to do things that will sell. Like, you just have to if you're going to do a hobby exclusive. And I learned that. Some of the cars that I did as hobby exclusives with J-Car did very well. Others did not. Just based on, you got to do things that the collectors want, of course. But I love that Auto World will do something here. Like, they'll do the square bodies. They sell. But something like the van, it's not going to be for everyone, but those that do want it really do appreciate it. It's reflected in the videos I do too. Like, I do a Hot Wheels video, it's going to get a cajillion views. I do an Auto World video, it's going to get fewer, but the passion of those viewers will be almost, it probably will equal the big mass Hot Wheels audience that I like. So I always like what kind of comes about that. All right, so in the van, it very much falls into that category. This I'm super excited about. Eagle Talon in white over white. I know there's been a Dodge Stealth that kind of fits with this. I'll see if there's any others with the white on white, but white on white, as you know, and I'll just continue to say it, any car that goes white on white, I'm going to be super, super excited about. It does have the black top, the Eagle Talon. I don't have the Mitsubishi Eclipse in front of me, but the taillights for the Mitsubishi Eclipse will be slightly different, as will a few other details on the car, but ultimately, yeah, they're true to it. The Mitsubishi Eclipse will look like a Mitsubishi Eclipse with Auto World, and then the Talon will look like the Talon, and that's just a rad model. That's the first version. Here's the second one with the summer drivetrain. Okay, anyway, with the secondary market wheels, like the custom wheels that they created actually for this casting, so they're going to continue to use it, of course. But I do like, they're very nice, and they do look very modern. Like, this is something that you would see, somebody's updated Mitsubishi Eclipse, or, of course, Eagle Talon, like at a car show, with more modern rims on it or whatever else. I mean, of course, that's definitely makes it a replica of, like, what the car means today. at the same time, I like the factory look. So I guess, you know what? They gave us both. They gave us both of these colors. So I will accept that. You get the custom and you get the factory. So that's good. All right, let's get to these lowriders. Version A of the 1961 Dodge Dart Phoenix lowrider. This definitely falls in the land yacht large category. I'll give you an up close. So you get the pinstriping on these. You get obviously some amazing detail in the paint, which I really love. And I love that they're embracing this with this. Of course, it would be nice to see them maybe modify the casting slightly to just lower it just a bit. But still, with the small wheels, this looks good. I'm trying to see if I've seen this actual car as a lowrider. I mean, they did the Continental, which is on the pegs now, as a lowrider, and I really like that. And a Continental lowrider really does. I mean, the Impala is the OG, right? But I really like what people are doing with the Lincoln Continental, and this one looks really good too as a lowrider. That's the yellow one. Here's the purple one. We'll get the engine opened on that. Well, let's just see. I want to see if they've done anything different on these. Doesn't appear so. I mean, obviously the engine bay is purple, which you'd expect. So details on this one are different too. Well, no, they're actually the same. It appears that they are, yeah, they're the same, just done in a different combination. That's cool. That's cool. Get that on the turntable. I love when they match the interior to the body. You just don't see that anymore on cars, but back in this era, you did. I think that's phenomenal. All right, I'm going to move these over because we got a big new casting land yacht car show to create here. So let's move down a little bit. Let's go first with the Chevy Impala. When I do the car show, I'll compare with the old casting because I don't have them with me right now. But we'll start with version A of release 2, Chevy Impala SS 396, 1965. Open that up. I think the real focus on this one, I mean, the interior is beautiful, but the real focus on this one are these taillights. The triple round taillights, which look so good. Wheels are great, silhouette is great. This Impala is just so mean. It has the land yacht vibe. It also was kind of a sporty car, you know, from the era. Just love that. I was just trying to see, we opened up, that was version A, right? No, so let's do version B and then we'll do the store exclusive. There's version B. Here it is. Let's open up the engine because that's new. Get as up close as I can so you can see the details there. Love that they're giving that kind of detail to it. Here's the model itself. License 396, 65396. I don't always look at the license. Sometimes I should. Just as this is going on the turntable. Michigan on the lowrider. Michigan on Great Lakes on the, or Michigan on the Eclipse. I think that's should be the same. Large talons, that's cool. And then on the van, I should pay more attention. California on the van, fantastic. That's cool. And then the Impala, California. All right, that's those. And let's see here. This is the store exclusive in Evening Orchid Poly, which is a unique color. So cool they're doing this. Yeah, there's an RLC vibe to these store exclusives. Like they're doing replicas of the real car, but they're doing them, you know, with some sort of special kind of vibe to them. They're not necessarily upgraded like Spectre Flame paints, for example, but they'll do some different things with these. Sometimes they go all out and add something new, like they did with the camper on the square body. But yeah, lots of details there, which are cool. Love the white interior with the black steering wheel. What's the license on this one? Orchid, Michigan. You're going to see Michigan a lot because, well, they're based in, was it South Bend, I think Auto World is, Round 2 Auto World. But that's very, very close to Michigan. And so you'll see a lot of that. All right, let's get to the, well, let's do that one last. Let's get to version A of the 1968 Dodge Coronet RT. So excited to open this one up. Medium green poly. first thing we'll do is look at the license, because I just got to do that with these Auto Worlds. Michigan again. We're getting different licenses. I wonder if they're based on the era. I mean, I don't know what kind of license is Michigan. I mean, clearly we're getting different ones, but what kind of license? There's your engine. All right, let's get on the turntable. Redline tires look fabulous. They build these models from the ground up, meaning the wheels will be true to the model. Obviously, all the interior, so they don't say, hey, let's do this with, you know, they'll add different wheels later, but when they start on a brand new casting, they start completely from scratch. So this looks really, really good. And like I said earlier, it does look like they just found a can of paint from the real car and just painted it on these cars. The paint on these models is phenomenal. Looks so, so good. That's version A. Here's version B in medium gold poly. Engine's going to stay the same, I would assume. Yeah, it does. And then this one doesn't get the red line tires. This one gets more of like a racing type tire. BF Goodrich. License is Michigan. Color's beautiful. You're getting that kind of Mopar muscle stripe on the back, which looks great. Is there a for you muscle fans, is there a term for that stripe that you see on these Mopar cars that goes on the back like that? That I don't know, and I'd like to know if there is, because it's such a unique and such a signature mark to these cars. Is that back stripe? It's such a cool design too. You see it, you see versions of it on the Superbird, and you know, and it kind of it finds itself on so many of these cars. And that one, I think, you know, I'd like to know if there's a term for that stripe. You guys will have to let me know. Okay, those are the A and B. I'd like to learn that. That's something I want to know. And then as soon as I do, I'll act like I've known it forever. And if someone doesn't know what it is, I'll just be like, I can't believe you don't know that. Everyone knows that. That's what car people do. All right, Auto World store exclusive, 1968 Dodge Coronet RT, Dick Landy. Love this one. I would love for Auto World to take on like a vintage racing. It would have to mean they'd have to build these cars from scratch again, but boy, what a company that would be qualified to do these kind of cars. They just have to know that we'd buy them, right? And I guess jury was still out on today's collector. Would they buy these vintage racing cars? You know, we're buying up like the Hot Wheels JDM and Euro vintage racing, and it's really cool to combine them with the American vintage racing. But could a company like Auto World do that and have us buy them? That's a hard question. I just don't know. I wish it was true, but I just don't know. All right, that looks fabulous in those racing stripes. I think it's a really, really cool combination. Let's get to the last one, and I think this is my favorite of all of them. Is the 1970 Plymouth Sport Fury GT. I'm gonna love opening these up. This is burnt orange poly. This thing just screams land yacht. When we do the car show, you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll just kind of go back to its origins. This is big. This is, what do they call it? A road floater? I mean, come on, it is. I want to look. What do they call it? Highway floater. I just love that description, because that is what these are. You know how these cars, you know, when you're in them and they hit a bump and they kind of vroom, vroom. You don't get that feeling anymore. Maybe that's a good thing, but I don't know. This is so rad. Let's look at the engine. There's the engine. Looking beautifully detailed. Let's look at the license plate. A lot of car on the Plymouth. I didn't see on the Dick Landy what it said. Dandy, California. That's cool. All right, here we go. Let's put this on the turntable. Same color interior. As you know, I love that. You got what is the equivalent of a vinyl top. Beautiful, beautiful color. I take note of the stripe down the side. That looks good. It's very detailed. Like it's got that, it's a broken stripe, like very tiny. Like that's really well done. And then the wheels are a major highlight as well. These like, I don't know, what that kind of muscle style wheel, built from scratch for this casting as well. That really shines. All right, second one in Jamaica blue poly. Toss it, toss it. And this, man, what color's better? I have no idea, because the color on this one's phenomenal too. Tires, Goodyear tires, blue yacht. Boy, these are all getting a lot of car on this one. Boy, I should be showing all of these. And then blue yacht, they're doing different. And what state is this? I didn't even look. Land of Lincoln, so Illinois. Oh, they're so rad. And I love that they're doing the license plates, of course. They always do. Utah's gotten some love. That's cool. On the Cadillac we did a Utah plate that said Big John. That was fun. Yeah, Auto World, I'm vibing on this. I'm gonna be honest. I was wondering if Auto World had lost its way a little bit the last few mixes. I'm gonna just say it, but this feels true. This feels fun. I am vibing. Here's the store exclusive. We'll finish with this, and then we'll do the car show. Auto World exclusive Plymouth Sport Fury GT in black velvet. Didn't they say it was like there had been 64 were made of this one? Toss, toss. Here it is. Let's see if there's any details in the engine. Same thing on the engine. Notice, you know, that's kind of like, look at the Plymouth there on the front hood. It kind of really shows there. License, what are we looking at? Big Yacht, Michigan. Look at the stripe. All right, turntable it goes. Oh, this black one's so great. It's so great. You should go snag this. The other ones will pop up in the store, but you can go buy this now at the Auto World store. All three of those. The Dick Landia too, and man, they are cool. This is, yeah, I like both colors, but this one just in jet black is fabulous as well. Dang, so happy. So happy. Auto World, thank you. This feels right. This feels right. Yeah, I'm vibing on this. Nice job. Keep doing I love the foray into Japanese cars. I know the Silverados are your red meat cash cow. Keep doing them because you need to. But if it's allowing us to get more of these, like this right here, is what I love about Auto World. All right, and what I love about Auto World are big, big cars. This is a long video. Let's check out a few very quickly and call it a day. All right, changed angle. First things first, I found the equivalent to this Plymouth Talon. Is that where we're at? Dodge Stealth. How about that for an equivalent? Just perfect for the era. These are two companion pieces to be sure. Like, fit the white on white fits the era. Having them both as, you know, under that that Chrysler badge, it works. So that's just the little bonus for the car show that I have to put out there. I guess I can we'll put the two little 90s era cars way over here in the distance. They look good together. Let's get to the land yachts that I wanted to talk about. I don't have everything here. I just wanted to show an example of why I think this is a return to what I love about Auto World. So first off with the Impalas, right? I mentioned that they've done this silhouette, this era of Impala before. Here it is right here. And I think this is a more, either the, what is it, 66 or 67. Taillights are the big giveaway here, right? And that's what they mentioned. So this is, a similar silhouette, but obviously this is the updated or, more recent, if you will, Impala. So they've already done that one. This is one of the examples. They have several, and I just love this black one with the black, with the hubs here, with the dog dish hubs and everything else. It's such a cool looking car. And they've done several versions that look a little more tame. This one is obviously very, very menacing, but that one works very, very well. And then we can go obviously into other Impalas just very quickly. I'll show you. And this is just an example of the details that they do. And these are not, I don't think you call an Impala a land yacht per se, but because all the cars back in this era were big. This was a big two-door monster. This one obviously has the tail lights here, those signature tail lights. There's a convertible version of that car. Here's another black on black that I really liked with the red interior. So you've got that version of the Impala. There might be others. The only other one I brought is the 70, because I thought the 70 is a very, this one definitely moves away from the 60s into what you expect from the 70s. Big two-door coupe, monster car. And this one vibes in that more you know, to borrow on their terms, a floater, a highway floater. This one definitely has that vibe. Big car. But we can keep going beyond that. And, you know, Impalas, but then you take like these, you know, these are kind of medium level, big, old muscle cars, which we could do another show. I could pull out a million. And then if you want to do an equivalent of those, these are kind of medium level. You could pull out the Grand Prix. Here's an example of the Grand Prix. And, you know, this is when if someone mentions Auto World, this is what comes to mind for me, are these kind of cars, this era, these just big cars. Now I've obviously done Lamley exclusive Supras and Lamley exclusive Ford GTs. Obviously we've done a square body with J-Car, but this is kind of where this is just where I vibe with Auto World. How about the Comet Cyclone? I love this one. This one's so sporty. Again, I don't know if you'd call it land yacht, but this is the era, these big cars. That's another one I would include, and then I would, of course, include the Oldsmobile 442. Definitely falls in line. I mean, I guess you could pull out Chevelles. You know, this is just what I knowing that this was going to be a long video anyway, I didn't pull everything out, but 442, Grand Prix, you could go like Ford Galaxy. They kind of fit in line with these cars. And then the last ones that, you know, again, I don't know where I'd go in terms of, you know, what the equivalent of these cars are. But this one says big yacht, so I have to go with the big yachts. They're using the term yacht on the Plymouth Sport Fury. And so I go to the Cadillacs. You know, I could go to other Plymouths, but I have to go to the Cadillacs. So I pulled out the 3 Cadillac castings that I really like. There's the 2 Eldorados. Here's another black on black, which I think is so rad. This is, what year is this Eldorado? I'd have to try and remember. But they've got the Eldorado here. You've got the more, you know, the different, I don't know which one is which now. So I should have probably looked them up. But this is the Lamley Eldorado. And with well, I always have to show it with the gold engine. The one I was talking about, Big John, with the gold engine. This one's very nice. So that's very much land yacht. That Eldorado, and then of course the Coupe de Ville. I think this is the Toys R Us exclusive, one of the Toys R Us exclusives. Blue on blue, I could be wrong, but the Coupe de Ville is one of the OG Auto World castings. And there's several versions of this one. There's lowriders, a lot of these too, that I think is fabulous. But my favorite of the land yachts is a funny one because I lost them. I don't know where they went, and I've sung the praises of this car forever, so I actually had to go to Whatnot and buy them all up again. I know now that I show these, I'm going to find them, but I'll do very quickly. I lost all of my Lincoln Continentals except for the 2 lowriders, so I'm going to open these up very quickly. This is, I don't know what, this is when it was new. I don't know what year. 2021. I had to go out and buy these again. Thankfully Whatnot had them, and I was able, I didn't even have to go on shows. Like, you can just go to the Whatnot store and, you know, you can do a search like you would, say, eBay or something. And I found them and I bought them. And so nice to have the Lincoln Continentals again, because I was like, I don't know where they are, and they probably are somewhere, but, or I did absolutely positively misplace them. That was was that version A? No, that was version B. This was version A of that first release of the Lincoln Continental. So that black, honestly, I think the Lincoln Continental is my favorite Auto World casting. Because I just love the car. I love all the details of the car for originally. I love how it fits as, like, you know, a highway floater. We'll just keep saying that. But it has just its own unique look. And I love what people have done with this. I think there's kind of a world rediscovering them. I'm just even going to just open them up very quickly. This one is in a midnight jade color. This color is really cool. They always built, like I said, they build these from scratch. And so, you know, that's kind of a green color. And the wheels are just, the wheels on this Lincoln Continental too are one of the reasons I just love it so much. And man, I just love this casting. I just do. I've missed it. That's a beautiful color on that car. I'm going to move our 90s era Mitsubishis or Dodges or whatever you want to call them. They're going to have to give up their space because we're putting Lincoln Continentals there. And I think there's still one I have to get because there was a version B of that mix, and then here's the, from I don't remember what year this one was, Jubilee Gold. That was version B. I have version A here too. This may be the best version of this casting in gold, which is just so rad with the matching interior, matching wheels, matching body. Just love it. Love it so much. This is such a land yacht classic. And then the last one, I'm just going very quickly, in cream color. Whatever year this was released was. This is not a Lincoln Continental show, but I did buy them, and I figured why not show them with all of these other land yachts. And that one looks good in that color. Same thing, matching interior to the body. You don't get the matching wheels on this one like the gold one, but that one goes right there. Okay, there you go. That is your Auto World sweet spot. If you've stuck around for this 89-minute or whatever it is just like it, video, I hope that that is a payoff. This is so fun to collect, and at least where I collect with Tomica Limited Vintage, where I like real cars, it's Tomica Limited Vintage for classic, for anything. Actually, Tomica Limited Vintage for anything. In the premium brands, Mini GT for racing cars, that's my favorite, like vintage and current racing cars. IMSA, Super GT, I love Mini GT for that. Auto World for classic American cars, and even the Japanese take on classic American cars. That's what I love about Auto World. That's where I go for Auto World. Those are the three premium brands that I spend most of my time collecting, and there's your sweet spot for Auto World for me. You guys tell me what you think. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks, Auto World, for sending it. Look for all of these at your favorite Harbor dealer or the Auto World store. Bye.